What is tallow balm? Well, the simple answer, it's a natural nourishing balm and it mimics our natural skin barrier and it's been used for centuries. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly everything you need to know about tallow balm. My name's Loanne. I'm a licensed esthetician. I've been using tallow balm myself and with my clients for well over a year now. And I've also made several videos on tallow and tallow balm. The very first thing you need to know about tallow balm is it is not a moisturizer. It is an occlusive. And what that means is it creates a barrier over our skin. So whatever moisture is in our skin and on our skin, it creates that barrier and that moisture stays there. I will go over how to use tallow and how I personally use it. I use a little secret something. What is in the tallow balm? Well, tallow obviously is the main ingredient, but what's tallow? Tallow is the fat around the organs and the kidneys of cows, sheep, bison, and it's not just any fat, it's a very specific fat and it's called suet. The tallow is loaded with fatty acids and vitamins like A, D, E, and K. And like I said earlier, it is very similar to our natural skin barrier. I highly recommend that you look for tallow balm that says grass-fed and grass-finished, not just one or the other. A tallow balm will also have an oil in it, and a lot of times you'll find it's olive oil, which is perfectly fine if you're just putting that on your body. But if you're wanting to use it on your face, I highly recommend that you look for an oil that is not pore clogging, something like a jojoba. You'll see sweet almond oil. You want to look for oils that are not pore clogging if you're going to be using it on your face. And a lot of your balms will also have some oils that have been infused with herbs and probably some essential oils. Now the oils and the different ingredients, they really matter, and we'll go over why. But first, this one is really important. Is tallow balm going to make you smell like beef? Most tallow balms are made with the wet rendering method, and that method usually results in a very mild smell. Most tallow balms have been infused with herbal oils, and that'll mask any odor that might be in there. And after it's applied, any smell really kind of dissipates. However, there are a few people that just have a really sensitive sniffer and they can't get past the smell. But overall, most people don't notice the smell at all. Next, is it pore clogging, and why do most dermatologists and estheticians not recommend it? Let's address the pore clogging part first. That goes back to what I just mentioned, that there are different oils in the tallow balm that could be more pore clogging, and the other ingredients besides the tallow could be the problem, but the tallow will probably get the blame. It is a very specific fat. It's not just regular fat. And when things get very popular, to be mass produced to meet that popular demand, unfortunately, shortcuts are made. And more than likely, they could be using just any old fat and not the actual tallow. They probably are. I've seen this happen from the videos where I share how to make the tallow and the tallow balm, and a lot of people have commented when they went to buy the tallow, it's not tallow, it's real runny, and that's just fat, and that can be very frustrating. I'll link those other videos in the description as well if you want to go check those out. And that quality control, that creates a problem, and that could be part of the problem of why dermatologists and estheticians have a problem with it. And really, I have a problem with some of the tallow balms as well. And that's why I make it myself, so that I know exactly what's in it. Most people really aren't going to make their own. So if you can't find it locally or you want to purchase it online, I have a video that I will link at the end. All you got to do is click it and it'll take you straight to it. And it will walk you through how to purchase tallow yourself, and you'll know what you're getting is good. So back to the dermatologists and estheticians. When it comes to the medical side of things, I feel like there is a bit of a disconnect from the medical part and things that are more natural. I understand in a way because there's probably not tons of controlled data on a lot of the more natural things, or at least people aren't searching it out. Also, it's not very profitable when you use things from nature. But in the words of Forrest Gump, that's all I have to say about that. Before we look at how we use it, first I want to say that with my clients, I have had no one that ever felt like it was pore clogging or had a problem when using the tallow balm. However, that was tallow balm that we knew exactly what was in it and how it was made. Also, from you guys, there's been a lot of people comment that have seen great results with psoriasis, eczema, acne. I've not had any experience with any of those issues with my clients. And I've had a few people comment that they absolutely had a bad reaction breaking out with tallow. Again, not knowing the ingredients that were in their tallow balm, we can't say if it's actually tallow or if it's the other ingredients. But that's the same with any skincare. What works great for one person may not work great for the next. Something else I want to mention, you may hear people talk about the pH of tallow, and that can get a little confusing. Now, I'm not going to get all sciencey on you, but here's a quick breakdown. The pH of fats and oils aren't measured the same way as like a water-based cleanser or toner. Fats don't really have like a traditional pH. It's measuring more of the fatty acid or the acid value. So if you hear somebody throwing out pH and tallow pHs, take it with a grain of salt. It's not the same thing. I promise. I don't recommend using 100% tallow. I've seen some what they call balms out there, and it's just 100% tallow. It needs to have some nice oils added into it for your best results. So we've covered that it's not considered a daily moisturizer. So how does it work with makeup? If you wear full face of makeup and you like a nice matte finish and you do all the things, no, it's not for you. You probably want to save tallow balm and use it maybe in your nightly routine or days when you're not wearing any makeup and you're just hanging out. If you don't wear makeup, yep, you can use it. When it is a little heavier than like a normal moisturizer that you're probably used to, and after it's on for a little bit, it does absorb, but the key is a little goes a long way, but it is definitely different than what you're probably used to with a mainstream moisturizer. So how to use it and how I use it myself with my little extra something. You always want to use a tallow balm on damp skin. So right after you get out of the shower or after you wash your face, that's when you want to use your tallow balm because it locks in the moisture. It acts as an occlusive. So when you get out and your skin is damp and you apply it, it's going to help hold in that moisture and protect that skin barrier. The best thing for healthy skin is protecting that skin barrier. And this is very important. If you have dry skin, do not skip this step. If you put tallow balm on dry skin without having some moisture underneath it, it will dry you out. I've heard people say tallow dries out the skin, and that's the reason why. Now, my favorite way to hydrate is super simple. I mist a little bit of glycerin and rose water on my skin. That gives me the moisture. Then I add the tallow balm. But I use this morning and night before I apply anything, whether it's tallow balm or not. I made a video and I show you how I mix the glycerin and rose water in that video. I will link that in the description. And it is a video on hyaluronic acid. I personally use the glycerin rose water instead of hyaluronic acid. I feel that it works very similar, if not better, in my opinion. I explain all that in that video. I just use that when I'm hanging out around the house and I'm not wearing makeup. That's what I do. The glycerin and rose water, and then the tallow would be an excellent nighttime routine too. One of the things I noticed when searching for good tallow balms to recommend to my viewers is that not a single one in their instructions on how to use tallow balm mentioned adding the moisture. So that can be frustrating. Like I said, I've put together another video to walk you through how to shop online so you can feel confident about what you're getting, and you can watch that one right here. So just click it. I thank you all so much for hanging out with me. My name's Loanne, and this is a little bit of Homestead.